If your to-do list had feelings, it would cry tears of joy after this episode. Because I am diving into the wild world of business with EdifyBiz, the CRM that makes you look like you have got it all together. So let's begin. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of In a Swank Way. I have Mr. Ashish Sharma with me today. Hi Ashish.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Same here.
Yeah. So first question for you is what is EdifyBiz is about?
Well, just to put it across it, EdifyBiz is for general people, it's CRM. But if you go deep dive into it, I would suggest that an application which can really give you a business empowerment. It originated from 1998 actually, in fact, and it changes its course because the businesses were changing. I can understand the kind of the paradigm you have from 1998 to currently 2025, right? So it's pretty difference out there. And this has gradually changed its technology, changed its business functionality, and has reached to a point where it is indeed an empowerment to the businesses, a perfect business solution, I would say so.
Okay, so business solution. So how different it is from Tally, or like people who are actually using Tally, how is it going to help them?
Well, interestingly, a lot of Tally users are our application users. But how it starts here is this, that Tally becomes more of a statutory compliance financial accounting application, right? So when India really needed a software where people can actually, use their invoicing, purchase orders and everything else. So they started using Tally as a core part of it. And Tally intelligently did a lot of good things out there in the market. So they really became a market leaders. In a business, there are multiple verticals you have. Okay, so Tally, as I mentioned you across it, is more for financial accounting side of it. But when you come to EdifyBiz, right, there are many aspects of businesses which Tally doesn't follow, right? It's a basically neutral course of it, right? So you have something like related to marketing and sales, service and support. And then there are many other activities, like for example, if you have a service force or a sales force which you want to track it across through GPS mechanism. Or let's take an example, you have meetings within the organization with your clients, with your suppliers, within internal meetings across it. You require minutes of meeting. How do you do that, right? Plus typical old age methods where if expenses are done across it, what you do it is you write it on a piece of a voucher, submit it to the respective concerned people that head the department or the bosses, and then they sign it across in that way. Now these all things needed some kind of an improvisation as the world has changed. Today, I would like to be a guy who's traveling, who's going into meetings, who's having my vacation, but have some basic tick marks could be done on in terms of approvals and things, or auto approvals, in fact, I would say so. So like, I don't want a person at a very high level approving basic expenses or basic invoices which are standard, which are pre-approved invoices, right? Like your mobile bills will gonna be month on month, right? It doesn't have to go through that entire approval process.
Right.
So can we cut short those things and make it easier for people? Yes. So that means basically you have limited people in your organization, but they are highly efficient, highly productive. And as I told you, it's empowerment.
Right. So you almost have 28 years of experience, right? And in this journey, what was your vision when you actually thought of EdifyBiz? And right now in 2025, how it is different than when you started?
As the time changes, you realize it that the requirements and the need of people also changes. The kind of way of communication, earlier faxes were there, now of course emails, and now you have instant messaging, right? So if you look at overall span of thing, the technology has changed, the telecommunication has changed across it, and the way the people function and do businesses are also changing. Okay. So what we did it is, we tried adding those components which are needed for the business to look back upon themselves, check what is right for them, what works for them, and then accordingly enhance itself, go to the next level, and keep it at the pace with the current thing. So I, in a very simple manner, always talk about it that in the world of AI, which is today, 1998, 2025, completely AI driven, what I suggest here is this, that people have to get digital first. They need to understand what digitization actually means. From a digitization, I would suggest to go for an advanced digitization. So there are a lot of fragments of data which people don't use. And if they can digitize that data, I would say those data which you may not find sense right now would start making a lot of sense once the AI will kick in. So, or AI will execute it, right? So you would go to advanced digitization, then go for automations. and then go for AI. But here you look at market, people keep asking, do you have AI, right?
Right.
So I say go through this transition. I think so you can harness the power of AI in much better way.
Yep. And I don't know, just a thought, like like in our country, do you think this digitization is need basis rather than, we going ahead than technology, or how do you perceive it?
So if you look at from an IT standpoint, people are still in the stages where they think IT is secondary for them. IT cannot do certain things for them. But if you take the data as a part of it, which data people consider as a new oil, yeah, it has its own fragments which can tell you what all achievements you could do across it. I can give you a couple of examples of automations right now. Say let's take an example, I get in touch with somebody and I want to maintain in touch with somebody. Like take an example, networking platforms, right? You meet a lot of people. How do you ensure that you're in touch with somebody else? You could have agents, you could have bots, you could have tools which will ensure that for the next 3 months or 6 months you can maintain a touch with them.
Right.
Makes sense, right? Let me give you an example here is where you have invoicings done across it, and if the payment has to be taken care across it, unless until a credit limit has been done across it, the messages will not go, but once the credit limiter starts, it will start automatically sending messages across it. So if you look at these kind of scenarios, and I can give you n number of more examples to it, these really make a difference. It will cut down your manpower. It will be in touch with your right client, create and right communication channel from your client, makes you more professional, I would say, or make you more organized. More than professional, I would say, it's make you more organized, so that you take it to the next level.
Right. And it's not only about cutting the manpower, but I think whatever manpower you have, maybe train them in a way that you are utilizing them at the most.
Yes, very true. So I never advocated this idea of cutting your manpower. I always believe in this, that educate them, take them to the level where this country needs it. See, unfortunately in India, the skill, kids pass out from these colleges, but they still miss out the core skills needed for the business to happen,
right,
or to be a right working mindsets to go about it. So of course, work ethics is a different thing. We should not talk about it right now for next Gen Z. But yes, what we should talk about here is giving them the right tools which can be utilized to do their work effectively, efficiently, so that they can have a right work-life balance.
Okay.
People talk about work-life balance all the time, right? But how effective or how efficient are you executing that work defines a lot of things about you.
Right, and for that also you require a lot of basic
you require tools. Yeah, you require tools. Without that, you cannot move forward. So, right tool, right place, and right execution would make a lot of difference in your life.
Right. And what about EdifyBiz? When did you launch this EdifyBiz?
So officially we launched this EdifyBiz in 2006. Though, as I told you, it's from 1998, so it has gone through multiple version management. But yes, in 2006 when we started across it, those cloud technologies were not so much strong at that point in time. So we had this application running in older technologies like Visual Basics and Visual Fox Pros and all those things. But as the time changed across it, we completely made it as a cloud-driven application across it. And currently we have few thousands of users who are using this application. And yeah, they're getting benefited out of it. So it's a SaaS-based environment and really making a difference in the world, which I strongly believe to do that.
So what are the unique traits that you have introduced for EdifyBiz?
Well, again, let me tell you an analogy out here is, there are businesses who requires a very basic prototyping, right? And you may find many other applications available in the thing. But as your business, and in fact, if you look at Indian businesses, we have not certain set processes defined across it. We set processes as we go through the entire evolution of it, right? So even if it's a startup, they may pay somebody to set up processes, but there have been a lot of organizations which are proprietary based organization or the family run businesses. They basically go through that learning curve, evolution of it. EdifyBiz could be a right tool with you to evolve.
Okay.
So I always say that, you could, in a period of time, you can outgrow EdifyBiz to go for SAP. But before directly opting for a SAP by using a basic ERPs which you're trying to use it across it, there is a lot of gap in terms of what products can deliver or what IT or software's products can deliver it to you. And I think so we are in that right segment where we are trying to talk about it, that hey, it could be considered as a mini ERP, pre-ERP, completely seamlessly being integrated with Tally, integration with SAP. Okay, so it creates a good layering on top of this application before you jump onto something which is really really big for you and you want to really expand yourself.
Yeah. And Ashish, we spoke about Tally in the beginning, right?
Very true.
So I want to also understand, is it integrated with Tally?
Yes. So I would say that EdifyBiz seamlessly integrates into Tally. So you can push the data, pull the data. And let me tell you from where it originated. So when we started implementing these applications to the client end, the major issue which everybody faces is data entry. Nobody wants to redo the data entry part across it. And then of course suddenly something strikes that what if we integrates with Tally? So the day one when you start with this application, it is capable of pulling all the data out of Tally into our application. You could create contacts here, it will become a ledger in Tally. You can create a ledger in Tally, it can become a contact here.
Okay.
You can create invoice in Tally, this will become an invoice here, and you create invoice in EdifyBiz and it creates an invoice in Tally. Well, EdifyBiz has done a brilliant journey. Going along with starting with something we were focusing mainly with chemical pharma companies, to going into trading and sourcing companies, to going to elevator industry, to going to industries which are into exclusively working with respect to productions, quality management, have multi-lines, assembly lines running it across it. It has seen it all. Okay, think of it as it has aged very gracefully. But at the same point of time, my team has been always, making it to the time at this point of time from the technology standpoint. So a lot of effort goes in terms of keeping up with the technology, delivering what is needed today. Believe that things which we may be the trendsetters in the past, and we intend to do the same as we go forward across it. So yes, they do it. So if you look at it, it's a very seamless integration. And again, you start with this journey. See, everybody evolves, right? So you start with this journey, and then from where do you reach? Let's take an example. You have a salesperson on the field going to the customer and want to know how much of business has happened or wants to know the order status, right? Because you have entered everything in Tally, let's take an example, it gets reflected there. So his life becomes much easier. Tally always had this issue where it was limited to a computer from where it is working across. And now, of course, they've worked out with the cloud version too. But everybody is not very friendly with Tally. What if you could make Tally and the Tally data working seamlessly with your workforce, service force, and then reflect the data which they really want to see other than showing typical accounting structure? Well, that's what we are able to achieve out of this application.
Nice. I mean, that's very seamless and smooth, I guess.
Yeah, it's very seamlessly. I mean, I would say that really works much better.
Okay. And apart from Tally, then what are other softwares which can be integrated with your EdifyBiz?
So, EdifyBiz, as I mentioned you across, is a new technology heading towards a lot of AI related things too. So, it has all APIs available across it. So, today if you want to have, I'll just give you a basic thing. If you want to do a lead collection, it can collect a lead from LinkedIn, it can collect it from Meta, it can collect it from Google, or web pages you have across it, or web forms you have across it. So that is possible out there. When you talk of different software, we have done a lot of integrations with SAP in different manner because SAP CRM people don't use it, but we use EdifyBiz suggestions. And of course, these all standard APIs like payment gateways you have, mailing options you have, SMS and WhatsApp options you have. So yeah, I mean, it is because since it supports API, it can again push and pull APIs on all the aspects of it. It works fantastically fine with almost any application you talk about.
So what are the industries that you feel that can get benefited by this EdifyBiz?
Well, it's an office automation application. So basically, right from any organization which is anywhere about 20 people onward, and up to say, I would say 200 people can always capitalize on this kind of an application.
Okay, so all the sectors that you're covering.
Basically all the sectors, but I would give a lot of emphasis on companies which are into trading and sourcing, specifically people who are into machines which they import the machines, because we have majority of customers falling in that particular domain, right? So something which is into machine thing where they import the machines here in India from abroad and then they do servicing, sales, manage the entire big marketing staff or service force along with it. So yeah, that works perfectly fine. So heavy machineries, whether it's connected to power, textile, those kind of things to work across it. So yeah, we have captured that segment currently in industry pretty much across it, but it's an office automation software. So the more the more organized you want to be, you could capitalize this entire application in various manners, and it has few good number of modules which you would not even have thought about it. They really add value basically.
Yep. And I think I also had a demo of EdifyBiz, so I think it is also customizable.
Oh yes, yes, it is very customizable, but I'll tell you a very interesting thing. See, there is something called configurations, right? So you can have a good set of configurations done on an application at a very basic level, at an implementation level itself. But I always suggest people use it for 3 months, use it for 6 months, and then suggest in customization, because then you really know what you want extra out of it, right? But first, taste the first flavor which is coming to you. I could promise you it's really amazing. So that really makes a difference.
And of course, the platform is seamless and everything, but do we require any training to adapt it?
Of course, so it has to go through a process of an implementation and training if you want to completely capitalize it, okay? When you give something new to someone, right, they try to find their own ways of understanding to it. But there are some standard practices. If you use those practices, it will help you. So EdifyBiz team is really good at it. We first spend a lot of time talking to our clients, understand what their requirements are, map, configure, and in case if it needs to go for customizations. And then the second step which goes across here is the training. So telling everybody how to go about it. And then we have a very defined sequence of training which we go across it.
Any particular days of training?
No. So of course there are both online and offline models both available across it. It depends on how the client is using across it. We have pan-India clients. So in some cases they are happy to have it on-premise. Sometimes they would like Zoom calls to happen across it. So it runs on both the angles to it. But yes, training is a very integral part of implementation and training. I would say is a very integral part of having a successful execution of any software today you go for it. Even it goes up to something like Tally too. Yeah, so.
Okay. So what do you think, like in terms of adaptation to EdifyBiz, how much time it will take for any industry?
Okay, so adaptation in any organization depends on the culture of an organization.
Okay.
It's very important, okay. So first, the mindset of the founding members or the people who are running the entire management should believe in the cause of it, that yes, capturing these different data sets will add some value to their business from a decision making perspective, from understanding what mistakes they have been doing it across it, or what is even going good in their organization, right? So it is important. Now when it comes to people down the line, right, if the culture is there where the mindset is a growth mindset, then I have seen that people adapting this in 15 days too. There are organizations who are going through this transition. They may sometimes take 3 months, 4 months, 6 months to go about it. But what we try to, whenever we approach any kind of management out there, we try to tell them that, hey, world is changing, they are heading towards AI. And the feed which will go to AI is your business data. So do you have your business data in place? If not, then get started. So I think so that is the starting point, and that really makes a difference out there. So adaptation may take time, but another angle which goes about here is hand holding. So as an organization and as a core philosophy, believing into it, we thought of MSME to grow in India because India should grow on those aspects of it. And if you give them a hand holding, if you give them an implementation support, that really works. So from, let me try to give you another angle to it is, current market applications have limitation because the fight of cost or being price conscious is too much, right? So you buy certain things, but then how to capitalize and how to utilize in the best of the manner is something which is missed out. EdifyBiz team is helping in terms of implementation, adaption, and what do they do here is that they can be at a client side also if needed, and they can train the people, they can go step by step thing, take module by module, implement it across it so that you have a better success chances of implementation and execution of these kind of application, because they comprises many modules across it and they help you grow your business again. So yeah.
For any organization, the one of the major aspect to look at any software integration is about the productivity. So how
Right.
EdifyBiz is efficiently helping? Any numbers that you want to share with us?
So from a productivity standpoint, I would say that uh, specifically areas like lead management or people who are doing follow-ups, it is able to deliver almost as good as 1:3 ratio, where three people are needed to do certain thing, now only one needed. So I would say it's a major movement. Of course, there are areas in businesses where the productivity is totally dependent on how you are capitalizing on those aspects of it. So yes, there we would say that there is a immediate increase of 20% as soon as you get your gears on, and if you become more efficient, it can go up to 33%. So yes, that's what you'll be able to achieve out of it when it comes to, if you have to put in the numbers to it, basically. But
Okay. And also one more aspect to it is like, what are the challenges that you have faced during this entire, evolution of EdifyBiz?
Well, technology changes very fast and very keen. So, our team, and thanks to my team who's been continuously working towards it, technology changes and the client want those new technologies. So, yeah, we have to strive very hard to keep up with the market pace and work towards it. So, I think so that's the challenge. But then that's what we enjoy too. So,
And with AI becoming very popular these days, so how Edify is going to integrate with AIs or anything that you have thought of?
oh yeah. So EdifyBiz is totally geared up for AI. So let me give you a couple of basic examples of where the AI is getting used. So you go for a meeting and you pick up a card. You just click the card and it will enter the contact information in EdifyBiz.
Okay.
Or let's take it to the next level where you receive a purchase invoice. You click the purchase invoice and it will match whatever the values it finds in the database to match it across it. Which it doesn't find it across it, it creates the mapping for you and enter it into the system. Similarly, any kind of document which is coming across it. So currently we are able to recognize the document, make the necessary changes or the mapping of the fields which is needed across it and get it inside the EdifyBiz. So yes.
Oh, I mean, I think like parallelly going with AI, I guess.
Yeah. So a lot of things. There are a lot of things in the box too, which we are working across it. So we are very soon planning to come out with something like EdifyBiz box,
Okay.
which can hear your communication
Okay.
and possibly create minutes of meeting for you. So and based on those minutes of meeting, create some tasks and activities for you. So I would say the world could become very seamless as the days goes by.
I'm looking forward
I would
to
say
it.
we are getting geared for 2030. I would say.
Yep. Very fast, I guess.
Yeah, it's changing. The entire paradigm is shifting.
Yeah. And of course, we all know data is a new gold. So, like with all this data feeding and information and everything, how secure is EdifyBiz?
So well, the data is very secure being in your even premises. Okay, so being with us, we have engineers who are taking care of business continuity planning, disaster recoveries, so and even something like 90 days backup plans. So the data which you have entered today, and once my system confirms it, which basically you click on save and it says yes, it's saved, right? The data remains with us in backups itself, where you have a 90 days backup process to go about it. It gets moved to different geographical location within India to ensure that in case of any kind of a natural disasters happening across it, which can include like fire, flood, tsunami, whatever, you are safeguarded across. And then of course, data has accessibility of data is again another very key aspects of it, right? So like for an example, if you have a file of an invoice and you share it with the team, then they already have a file of invoices. But with these kind of tools available across it, you can even go up to and filter the kind of invoices what they can see. So if they have worked or they are only representing a particular department invoices, they will only able to see it. So from an accessibility standpoint, from a disaster recovery standpoint, from a business continuity planning standpoint across it, and in case if you have done some mistakes and you want to really roll back yourself across it, having up to a 90 days kind of a thing, all international good business standard practices are being used at EdifyBiz. So also to add to security, there are other aspects as I talked about as some international practices, security practices. So of course encryption is one angle which we look into it. So yes, we have an encrypted data. Also containerization, which is basically your data is isolated from all other existing clients, is also something which is very of the prime importance. So yes, we do take care of that too.
Yes. I mean, that is something that any organization would look forward to.
Yes.
Yeah. And so Ashish, I also want to know, like, what is the secret of the exponential growth that you had in all these years?
I always believe that applications like EdifyBiz is entirely a team effort. Without team, you cannot achieve of this magnitude. Entire office automation, where a lot of small components moving and trying to give you the right balance between the IT as well as the business functionality. So yeah, really thanks to my team who has put in years of efforts, years and years of efforts, and putting their brains, putting a lot of hard work in terms of working with the client, being a contributor to their growth. So yes, a beautiful journey we traveled along with EdifyBiz. It has a lot of meaning to life to us at this point in time, and yeah, we are really passionate about it, and we believe in the cause, we believe in the objective, and we believe that today delivering these kind of solution is what India needs, and somewhere we strongly believe that yes, we are helping India to grow. So yes, it's important. It's a good purpose for us, I would say so. And yes, of course, most importantly, Bhakti. So she's been my best half, I would say so. She's been really taking care of this EdifyBiz from the standpoint of it, that what customer requires across it, what, we have those implementation meetings, we do have support meetings, and they go for hours and hours, sometimes, because the number of customers we have. So we have to take every individual account. We have made up a practice that every account goes through a review on a weekly basis, and the meetings lasting for hours and hours. But Bhakti patiently and with the same zeal and interest looks into each and every account, calls the client, finds out the feedback about the clients, what we can do better for them, is all the thing across it. And yes, thank you, Bhakti, for the same. And of course, we worked with different mindsets, different brilliant mindsets, I would say, across it, both at an international as well as domestic level, in India level. And they helped us to shape up EdifyBiz as what it is today. A decent sized team which is there across it, managing and supporting across it. And our training is not just limited to those training sessions, because the questions keep coming in across it. The support is always needed across it. We strongly believe in hand-holding our clients, because today every client is looking out for some objective, and that objective at this point of time is pure growth, nothing else, nothing more, right? So if you can be the partner with them in their growth journey, the kind of appreciation, the kind of self-satisfaction you get across is really good. And my team inherits this entire philosophy within them. They believe that their growth lies with company growth, and the company growth lies with the customer growth. Yes, so that's what we are looking at it.
Great, great philosophy and great thoughts, and I'm really happy to understand more about EdifyBiz. Of course, I had a demo, but when I had a discussion with you, I understood the journey behind it. Thank you so much, Ashish, for sharing the journey of EdifyBiz and the evolution that happened over these years. And I actually had a demo session with your team, but right now understanding how exponentially you can help your clients is something which I am really happy about. And definitely, if you guys have any questions, anything, then do reach out to Ashish and EdifyBiz team. So we are sending you all the details.
So yeah, thank you so much, Tushar. And I'm pretty sure that over a period of years of experience we had in automating our client and now AI empowering the client, every organization today could find the right connect and the right partner with us. And I hope we can help them grow and grow in the same process. Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Ashish, how was your entire experience with us?
Well, I always believe that when you're sharing your experiences with the world, which in a Swank way is doing it brilliantly, you're not just projecting somebody, but you are basically helping lot many people around you to understand, take inputs, take pointers from there, and then dwell upon yourself if those pointers can be something helpful for their growth, their evolution, their expansion of even mindset. I always believe mindsets are required, and on this platform, when you're having different mindsets of people coming in across it, very different aspects of, again, business, life, the way they think is coming to life, right? And when it reaches to more people, I'm pretty sure it would create its own effect, a butterfly effect. And I hope that butterfly effect is in positive for everyone. So yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
And what did you like the most about the entire?
A typical anxiety always happens when you are for these kind of shoots, right? But then the kind of cool environment being provided, the way the entire team works across it. Thank you so much, Tushar, for being so patient. I know multiple cuts goes into play, but yeah, these all things would make a difference in terms of how a good experience has been given, right? And that makes much easier to be on camera and say few words. Yes.